So we're looking at police make 9 arrests after TikTok organized looting. I don't understand. So
Go on, go on.
okay.
Yep, keep figuring it out. Think. Yeah,
Wait,
go
wait,
on.
wait, wait, wait.
Exactly what you think happened.
Wait. Let me unmute the thing. So I'm playing. I want to play the video. There's a video in there. Video has no sound. Okay, people are running. Let me read the caption. Police have made at least 9 arrests after officers clashed with youths on Oxford Street, following the social media rumors of TikTok planned a looting on the popular shopping street. Footage shared on social media of the incident shows officers clashing with young people in the shopping district. Police have also said they issued a 34 dispersal orders in the area. Wait,
Yep.
scroll. Ah,
Yep. So TikTok from the Independent, TikTok disorder spreads to South End as teens in black covers stopped by police. A seaside
ah,
town descended into chaos after a group of youths reportedly plotted on social media to get lit in quotes on the beach. Police became aware of a plan to cause trouble in South End, Essex, just a day after a social media craze led hundreds of teenagers, to gather on Oxford Street with the intention of looting clothing stores. Hundreds. A dispersal order giving police the power to move anybody behaving antisocially from the area or to have them arrested is now in place from the seafront to South End Central Station. It came after a similar disturbance on August 1 with TikTok users naming the carnage in quotes South End motive in footage that was viewed by thousands of users.
fun, 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 fun. So we're gonna have this. Oh, finish reading.
This
Finish.
was when you live in the UK, you realize that we're all different in this world. And this is the best example of this, right? I think for us, okay, I'm not gonna say this because that might be too controversial, but this was crime and social behavior, just simply led by what might just be tagged as fun.
Mm,
But from what I know of my experience in university, my experience working with students, I know what they
yeah,
can tag as fun once there's a very, very high peer influence
yeah,
on there.
yeah.
And the motive, what was the motive this time? Motive was to go and loot. This is one case where if they caught my cousin on the street looting, I won't even feel bad. I'll say good for you.
Oh my god. But technically, I guess it's just the technology element that this is quite interesting because obviously when
That is the
yeah,
interesting part.
yeah, because obviously during COVID, during lockdown periods where everyone was at home, in Nigeria as well, like people were breaking into ShopRite, but it was mostly those around the area. But even sometimes opportunistic people, will step in to do that. But for this to be like driven and led and this social pressure
By
thing,
motive.
yeah,
I think when we've seen mass organizations formed by social media, it's often been perhaps a protest, a BLM stuff that also happened.
yeah, yeah,
Nigerian protests, NSAS, other things may never include, but you can even see some more riots perhaps emerge from social media.
mm,
But they've often come from places that are either serious, out of an intense lack, out of a statement to make, but none has come from what you term as a fun angle.
yeah,
For the bands, you know?
yeah, 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 yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And also, if you think about the danger as well, because this is technically they could have gone into several stores and successfully looted, which they probably did.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
because the numbers that we're talking about is what I think I said 100.
Yeah,
That's a
quite,
lot,
quite a
and
lot.
police will just have to catch one person anyway, which is fair. But hundreds of people. So I think
Yeah,
the key message here is there is definitely a huge impact on the speed at which we can organize now.
yeah,
through social media. No. Through TikTok. TikTok is a different beast. So people across social media, I am almost giving too
Yeah,
less of credit to other platforms.
yeah.
Sorry, too much of credit to other platforms. But TikTok is a different beast,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And I know on my on my Instagram, there was somebody who mentioned something about Gen Z. Like she went on a full rant on Gen Z
Yeah,
based on this.
yeah.
And it's like she wouldn't talk about Gen Z for a minute, and then this happened, and then she had a chance to talk about. But I see where she's coming from.
Hmm.
But I'm not a big fan of using those labels because I think if we grew up in this era, we might be easily susceptible to the same things.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So labeling generation almost excludes you from being able to make that same mistake if you were then
Hmm.
that generation. But I don't think I think we probably can.
Yeah, it's just
But I
phase
think,
of
as you said,
life. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I think so. I think the key thing is just it's impressive and perhaps scary how much mobilization can occur
Hmm.
in a bad way
Yeah.
or for bad actions anyway
Yeah.
through social media like TikTok.
Particularly because going viral now has some kind of incentive to it. Like it's always had a somehow incentive, like unspoken incentive or third degree incentive, where maybe if you can go viral, someone else will tell you they will post this about me and you can become famous online. But right now, what's actually happening, moving to another topic, is obviously Elon Musk and with X, or formerly known as Twitter, or Twitter that everybody knows it as, they started to pay Twitter Blue subscribers for the amount of exposure that their tweets get.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah,
So obviously, but you have to be verified first, and then there's a minimum limit. I think more than 500 followers, and your post must be doing an average of like maybe 15 million impressions, which
so you
takes
get paid now for impressions and exposure, which means you're
exactly
being incentivized to probably
to do shit. Yeah, because
to do out terrible behavior because that's
yeah,
what tends to get all
exactly,
the clicks.
exactly. So people are kind of like concerned about that because now before, obviously, like people would do hot takes and you don't want to trend because you don't want people in your mentions doing nonsense. But now if you're going to get bank, like, and these are like people are getting like what, obviously on the African continent it might be quite difficult, but a lot of users in the US, they're sharing screenshots of like Twitter paying them $4,000 for the month, $1,000 for the month, 10.
4K.
Yeah, bro. Like if you like, cause people do serious impressions and numbers on Twitter, and for me, it now makes it worse because sometimes you tweet something because you want to blow up, but someone will quote your tweet, and it's the quote tweets that will then blow up.
So you won't blow up. No, no, I'll vex. I'll vex. Plagiarism, first of all.
so
I'll vex. I should get royalties for that tweet.
yeah, but the funny thing is that I feel like everybody knows it's not going to be sustainable, and it's just a strategy to get people to then be incentivized to actually just use the Twitter platform a lot more because you know that if I post it on TikTok, the amount I'll get, even if it goes viral, like it's a whole process. But on Twitter, if I'm a blue subscriber, and my tweet does numbers, I can make bank, and even when they'll probably stop it at some point where obviously
Yeah, but that's a very interesting point because how
yeah.
would you then stop it then? Because if you're already paying people to do something, you've exposed them to potential of earnings, and then once you cut those earnings after they've already taken part in the earnings,
So
they're,
you just
in a triple way
no.
demoralized, I guess.
So the thing is that you won't cut it off completely. You just make the barrier to entry a lot higher. Just like with YouTube, before to blow on YouTube and do some things on YouTube, you get access to all the creators or all the creator tools if you reach a certain number. But right now, before you start earning on YouTube, there's some milestones you need to hit. So you set up those milestones so that the barrier to entry becomes higher, but people are still chasing it because there's still that carrot at the end of the stick. So right now, obviously, they're saying 500 followers and then a couple of impressions. They'll just increase those things, and then people are trying a lot harder to get to that level. And yeah. So for me, it's a again, we're all in Elon's experiments if you decide to play those games. But for me, I'm just like it's going to increase a lot more disinformation and a lot more negativity online because that's what sells. And people will keep hampering up on things, and people might even go against things that are their identities because they think, well, it's going to slap. So if I can get my 4K, the people that know me know what I really care about. Anybody online, that's your business if you chop that information.
Mm.
But anyways, so
But speaking of,
yeah,
oh, go on, go on, go on. Go
no, no,
on.
no, no, go,
I
go,
said,
go.
speaking of X, though, so how have you felt about X and Threads? Because I went into classic mode of there's a new app. I joined. Yay! Might
Yeah.
change the world. But I think for X, or I'm getting confused now because I imagine them with the logos, and logos look
Yeah, the
alike
local look
now because
alike.
they're both black. But
For
for
Threads.
Threads, the immediate call out as a benefit to me when I first signed up or joined or opened the app was you already have automatically a list of following and followees and following, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I said to say followees low. And that way you can converse with people who you're already familiar with,
Yeah.
perhaps through your Instagram. But that's it.
Yeah. I honestly I have not opened it since the first time I signed up, and the reason why I
Same.
signed up was because I just wanted to grab my username, and just again slight chance that actually no, I knew it wasn't going to pick up as much, but in the slight chance that it did, in case I don't have to go through the process of setting it up at that point in time. But I never opened it again, and it was the initial wave of whatnot, right? And for me, I think, yeah, I read a tweet at some point or something at some point that was talking about like when you're thinking about social media platforms, like the evolution of social media platforms, it feels like everybody is now going into that Twitter version, right? Where
Who else?
no, I mean like no, not like do the exact same thing, but all platforms are almost looking very similar. Like everything is trying to be clean. You have to have a timeline. You have to have like people that follow you, people
Right.
that you follow, and there's an argument that Twitter was when Twitter came about, it was a bit different from the way Facebook and High Five had done their whole thing, and that was like the evolution of that time. But right now, everybody's just locked into this one evolution, and nobody's really trying to push the boundaries. Because yeah, you also have your Discord and your Reddit crowd and user interface, which is very very different. Like for me,
Different, yeah.
I find it difficult to catch on to Reddit because it's a bit of that like internet bro culture where there's a lot going on, like hacker kind of vibe, right? Discord is also a bit like that, but again, like people find their spaces and find a way to make some of these things work. But I'm just like, it feels like every social media, like mainstream social media app in that sort of way, is almost trying to model themselves after this whole like Twitter like timeline, real time feel, which I don't know what to think about it. But anyways, I want to play this, moving completely away from this social media conversation. It's still on, it's something from social media, but still. So it's about people who organize group trips. So this is a guy. Actually, I'm going to share my screen because I'm
Group
not about
trips?
to start looking for how to edit. Yeah. So he's about to make a statement about group trips. So now they're not going to see our face, just going to see this guy's face. So maybe not. Let me stop sharing my screen. So I'll just have to screen record the video and place it over. I guess I didn't want to do that because
Just play, man.
I won't be able to match the. Yeah. Okay. Because you need to see it as well. Sorry. Share screen.
Can always cut it out.
Yeah. All right.
People who travel for activities, please relax. Relax. I speak for myself and those on the trip who can't speak. Please relax. Why would I clock out of my life just to clock in on my vacation? Relax. We have to we have to zip line, we have to take the canoe, we have to hula hoop, we have to bungee jump, we have to pond the river, we have to just relax. Relax. The vacation is not going anywhere. We booked it, we all booked it, we booked this trip. Why would I be using my time off to be on time? Think it through now. Think. Why would I be using my free time for time that is not free? Think about it now. Relax. It's not that serious. Like we travel for an experience. It doesn't have to be Indiana Jones every time. It doesn't have to be a big expedition. Just relax. Stress. This is why I value solo trips a lot more now, because when you do these group trips, there's this pressure. Everybody, it must be Magic School Bus. Everybody, it must be expedition every time. Once it's a group trip, it becomes, and listen, I get it. I might seem like I'm antisocial. I don't like group things. I like group things. It's just the stress of the group. Sometimes to do group things, it's like kindergarten, but like we don't get snacks for this. You know, So relax.
I don't get the message or the I don't get the stance, the message, the notion, the point.
So
Like what's his issue?
no, so
That people who go on holiday sometimes want to do too many experiences or experiences that are perhaps too intense or they're perhaps too scheduled.
it's a mixture of both. Essentially, that there's some people that you go on vacation with, and essentially every day has to have like something happening. If not, they feel like they're wasting their money. So, wake up 7 a.m. to do this. Let's all do this at this point. Let's go to this museum. Let's go to this bungee jumping thing. Let's just like, and so there's never really any time to like chill. It's like you're doing work while you're on vacation because of all the things that you want to like knock out of the park. So that's his point. And it's like there's more pressure to have fun when you're within a group as opposed to actually just having fun as a vacation because there's all this bunch of scheduled things I need to do. Do you get?
I think it. Yeah, I see. So okay. First of all, the reason why I'm struggling to make my next point is I'm not sure whether that TikTok was made out of a genuine concern / genuine attempt to make a point versus just to make something trendy and create problem where there's no problem.
No.
Right,
Yeah.
but let me assume it's being genuine and he has actually concern and because he's gone to a holiday with his friends and his mates and then that kind of person was there. I don't see a problem. I mean, everybody's has different personality, right? There's people who are much more about having kinds of structure in the days versus some who just want to go by the flow. Right. I guess also if you probably are somebody who don't get many holidays, probably based on your work type, based on your income level, based on where you are, based on who you can go with. When you do escape from your everyday life, you want to get things done.
Yeah. No, so I get your perspective. I guess you're approaching it from a very interesting perspective. But I think it's also the idea that sometimes vacation is also like, it depends on what you define as a vacation for yourself, which is what you're saying.
Exactly.
But,
exactly.
But I think it's also the thing that some people are judgmental the other way around as well. Like, when you go on a vacation and your own idea of a vacation is to sit down on a beach and read a book, maybe take a walk somewhere. People are like, how would you go all the way to the US and not see X, Y, Z, Z, that sort of thing, right? So that's one side. The other side, number two, is I was going to ask you, do you like group trips? Like, do you like going on group trips? Because why I could relate with this is that I'd rather go individually and then we agree to meet at certain places, but to all of us travel as a group, no, sorry. For me, it's just recipe for potential disaster.
You can't even do that. You can't do that. No, you that I know. No. You'll be pissed off,
bro. And it has happened before. I've tried my best. Like, the problem is like there's always those people that are on different energy levels for you on the trip, and I'm just like, why are we making so like we're on a bus and we're going somewhere? Okay, cool. Have your conversation, but don't for like what's this group activity you're doing where everybody's introducing themselves for 2 minutes and telling something funny? Like, why? Like, leave me alone to my Kindle. Like, I'm not antisocial, but for now, let's just get to where we're going.
wait. If you go in a group, right? There's two kinds of group. Well, broadly speaking, anyway, there's probably more nuanced than that. But if you go in a group, you're either familiar with yourselves, or you are not so familiar with yourselves. So if, let's say, I don't know, let's say me, you, Jeremy and Sia, for example, go on a group trip, right? You don't know them, I know them, but I know all of you, right? If we're in that kind of bus and you're reading a Kindle, and there's no way I'm going to say, oh, bro, what are you doing? Why are you reading a Kindle? I know you. That's probably how you are. Sia as well probably we'll be going through maybe like some videos on Instagram or some football stuff, right? That's just who he is. I might say, okay, bro, come on, let's do something later. But I think when you know people, you understand what you nothing about what they do during those little moments might surprise you.
Yeah.
But also, you probably have an agreed alignment on what we're gonna do on this trip before we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I don't think you go on a trip as a group and be surprised like somebody wants something else and you don't want to do that. I think that's already a failed group. If you're
Exactly.
not
So,
if you haven't planned before you've left, that's already a
yeah.
failed group.
Yeah. So my own is that like we've planned what we're going to do, but then someone that is
Somebody has a
very
new idea.
so someone has a new idea to say, oh, like okay, we know there's a 2 hour drive between us and the next destination, and we're all in a bus. For me, I think of group trips as not so much about. For me, it's about practicality, right? Like how can we make things cheap for ourselves? How can we make some engagements a lot more enjoyable and things like that? So when we've already fulfilled all of those purposes and someone still feels the need to add additional jara to the purpose, that it's just, like there was just so much, there was just so much going on the bus that day, and I was just like, God, please, like I just need to get to the, and like it drains me so much, and then everybody's not asking you, oh, what's wrong, some. And I was just like,
Oh my days.
I'm like, nah, bro.
You're not having it.
Yeah, but funny enough, so
Nah,
for
I've actually
example,
never been on a group trip before,
trip
which is
like
a good
that.
point. I haven't.
Yeah. But even mini day trips, and for example, like when I was in the UK, I told her invited me with our housemates and all of that to go to Thorpe Park, but it was like, yeah, funny enough, we're in the same train. We ended up entering the same train, but like either we didn't know or it's like we'll see when we get there. So everybody just sat down in different coaches. Like it was when we got to the final destination, we're like, oh, we're actually on the same train in the first place. And then actually throughout the carnival thing, like some people chose to do some activities, other people chose to do something else, and it was just like we've efficiently all come here together to keep track. Maybe some people are holding some people's bags, but there's no. I think sometimes
Yeah.
I don't like groups that feel like it's forced camaraderie or forced like as everybody do together. And then maybe when 2 or 3 people say, oh, I'd rather sit this one out, you now have to make a thing like, oh no, let's do it together now, some and I'm like, why are you wasting time?
Also,
like,
don't underestimate the impact of purpose of people's decisions to do things.
yeah.
Someone can go on a holiday with the idea to relax
Mm-hmm.
and just experience the beach somewhere else, which is probably common if you are in neighboring countries like we are with other Europeans.
Yeah.
But for the others who may go on those same trips, I'm going there to maybe bond with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Right. For some, it's maybe, okay, I want to escape from everything we know back there. Let's celebrate something so that I escape. For some, it's just to showcase that I have friends and let me post it on social media. On Insta,
Yeah.
What's the line that Drake said? I know a girl who likes to visit Rome, but something like that. That kind of person.
Yeah.
Right. So everyone has different motives. But the video was not that deep in my opinion. It's if you know your friends, if you know your friends, that will not happen because yeah.
Yeah.
But particularly if you're guys, like I feel like that's more of that can probably happen more with like ladies trip.
Yeah.
But the guy trip, I rarely see that kind of thing happening.
Do guys even plan trips? Like I feel like
Even if you plan, I don't see a case whereby but like, oh, I want to do bungee jumping. I'm like, I'm tired.
like if you want to go do bungee jumping, go bungee
Go and
jump.
do it, bro. And even if you do and you come back, I don't think I'll be angry like, bro, you went to bungee jumping when I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
That, oh, I'm sad. No.
Yeah. So I think this guy's point is also the fact that like it might be not that people want to do that, it's the reactions of people doing that. Like if he as a person goes on this group trip and decides, oh yeah, today I'm sitting down and drinking, sipping coffee or whatnot, and everybody's trying to make it happen that, oh, we came here as a group now. I think those are the people I don't like the most. The people that
We came as a group, so we have to do everything.
Yeah.
And then like the guilt trip you into.
I do those people like me. Like I'm very stubborn. When you start doing that or whatever, is when I'll sit down and I'll be like, well, okay, so what are we going to do now that we've come?
You are a vegetable man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all on our TYP corner from mine. I don't know if there's anything else you want to show.
Now that wraps it up for today. Cheers, guys. Catch you again next week or next time, whenever that is. Peace.
All right. Peace.